Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Across the Stars, a chronological journey through the Star Wars universe, where tonight we will be reviewing Season 1, Episodes 17 and 18, The Blue Shadow Virus and the Mystery of 1,000 Moons. Ooh, spooky. I, of course, am your host, your Jedi Knight Drew, joined as always by my Padawan Brandon. Brandon, how are you today? That didn't come through, so you want to try that again?
It didn't, so it just sounded like really bad singing.
Yes.
Oh, it's supposed to be like auto-tune chords and everything.
Oh,
well, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. Shocking.
I'm good.
You want to try it again?
I'm afraid to now because I might just sing random notes again. Hang on. Okay.
Hold on.
I'm gonna brave this. Ready? Okay. I hear it on me.
Yep.
You hear it? All right. Good.
Stop it, I'm good.
Yeah, I think
it's like, can you hear me? It's on me
now.
Yep. When you talk, it's good, but when you get real loud, you have to go quiet. Yeah, there you go.
So if I then we get real close.
Yeah, there we go. That works.
And
you're not doing the whole episode as that because I will just mute.
No, I don't want to, because if it goes out, it just sounds like really bad singing because I can't hear what I'm singing, so the notes are never right.
I kind of think that would be more fun.
I promise, I really do have a degree in music.
Yeah. You're not going to be Ashley Lusk all during this podcast. Absolutely not.
No, you remember Vicky Strayer listens to this podcast.
No, she doesn't.
Oh, she totally does.
Shut up. Are you anyway being serious?
No, it was a joke that we had like 3 episodes ago.
Well, I know I made fun of Reed Smith, but I didn't remember the Vicky Strayer part.
That was part of it.
Well, just in case, hi, Mrs. Strayer. You're awesome. Yeah. Anyways, like there's 3 people on the planet that may get that joke. But speaking of 3 people who are getting jokes because they make a lot of jokes.
That wasn't me.
Sure, it wasn't. Anywho,
he raises his hands. He's like,
yeah, okay. For everyone that's
there
listening, I raised my hands in innocence. I swear to God, I didn't click anything. I think Drew has his up and doesn't know it.
No. Here's hand check. Did somebody? Haven't had to do that since high school band trips, but anywho, I'm going to eventually make it through these introductions. But we, of course, are joined by the 3 lovely ladies from the Opinionated Lushes podcast. We have Jess, Sonia, and Dawn. How are you all tonight?
Good. Happy to be here. Yeah.
Great. Maybe I should have done those individually.
We're all the same person. It's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah,
they can totally see their voices on the podcast.
Yep. We've never had 3 guests before, so I'm totally confused. We've had 2, but not 3.
We have. We've had 5.
That was a round table, not a guest.
My bad.
Totally different. Totally different one.
We had the same background and everything.
I will change the background.
Just to make it.
Anywho, well, let's just start left to right, and I want to ask just a simple question about are you Star Wars fans? And
yes.
Oh, God.
I'm on the left. I'm first.
Not. I'm going to go on LinkedIn and put a job out for a new co-host. But anywho, if you are a Star Wars fan, and when did you start watching it, if so? So I'll start left to right with the guests. And Dawn, I'll ask you that question first.
Yeah, I like the episodes 1, 2, and 3 though. I'm not really a Clones War fan. I'm not into cartoons as much, but episode 1, 2, and 3 are my favorite. I'm not a fan of 4, 5, and 6 with Harrison Ford, and the last ones are pretty good too. They're okay.
So, were you glad to see Harrison Ford die?
I have.
No.
I am.
Poor Harry.
Drew, don't know. No, I know what you're gonna say, and I'm cutting you off preemptively because we literally, on the last episode, spent 30 minutes talking about 3 movies that we were not reviewing. So no, don't move along.
The guests
Sorry
are
about
always
that can
right.
of worms.
No, I'm not even going to go on that tangent. I'm just to the point where I've never heard anybody say that before. That
I
like,
say it all the
Dawn,
time.
you're unique.
I know everyone loves the original 4, 5, and 6. Like I get it
Because
but
you're a hipster. You're like, I can't do mainstream.
I'm against it. I go against the flow. No, I don't know why, but 1, 2, and 3 were my favorite. Just are. I liked Anakin, like when he was young.
okay,
Before he killed all the kids.
Exactly.
no, I liked him better after he killed the little brats.
I
Anyhow,
liked him better when he went around wearing an iron lung with a full-on asthma attack 24/7.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Yeah. So okay, I do have to. I'm so perplexed right now. I can't figure this out. So let me
Add
ask
to
this
it.
question: was 1, 2, and 3 the first ones you ever saw?
No.
Oh, I'm just totally lost. I don't think we could be friends.
I'm sorry. I watched
I'm
4,
totally
5,
kidding.
and 6 when I was younger, and then I watched 1, 2, and 3. In the 2000s, and obviously I watched the later ones recently. I don't know. It's just I liked 1, 2, and 3 better, and it's the one where me and my son bonded the most over. I guess I don't know. Maybe that's why.
Okay, that is totally acceptable. We're friends again.
Bring your kids in to redeem
Yeah,
yourself.
I like episode 9 because my kid.
Piss off. I don't care whose kid likes that. Piss off on that stupid thing.
I'm gonna raise the youngest to like episode 9 as her favorite movie, just so I have to see you look a toddler in the face and tell her to piss off.
Have we met? Do you not think I'll kick a kid in the teeth for saying that? I will punt them like.
I don't think you will. I don't think you will. I think you're all bark, no bite.
We'll find out.
You're gonna risk a child just to prove it.
I will
mean-
gamble my child's teeth on this.
They grow new ones. It's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They're already there.
Yeah, just knock them out. All right, so we'll move to the middle. And Sonia, how about you? Of course.
I
oh,
love
sorry.
it. Yeah, go. You can go.
No, go ahead. No, sorry, I was going to say something, but it's totally pointless.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So since I was little and now I'm old, so like the whole time.
Yay!
I try to watch like once a year, spend a week rewatching everything, and they keep putting out new stuff, and it's like 80 hours now. It's ridiculous. Like it's insane.
Yeah, I do that every May 4th. I start early in the
That's what
morning
we do.
and watch every movie back to back.
May the 4th be with you, and the 5th of the Revenge, like the Revenge of the 5th. Yeah, that's what we
You
do.
got it. You got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had the movie
Is
the
it-
2 days.
Is it possible to watch all the movies? How many hours are
like-
all the movies put
It's
together?
literally a commitment. Like you got to start from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, 2 days in a row. That's just what you got to do.
But there's also the cartoons, like the Ewok cartoon.
Yeah,
and...
no, we don't do that. We
I'm just
do the
talking
movie.
movies, just the main,
Yeah.
just
just
all the movies.
Oh yeah, you can do that in a day.
If we're averaging 2 hours a movie, then that's 20 hours of movie.
Yeah, I can't do it in 2
Yeah,
days.
it's a
I can't do
day.
it in 1 day
Right,
anymore.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's one
And then
day
you
of
do it 2
movie.
days.
That's
I
right.
wake
Once
up
a day.
at 12 o'clock sharp on May the 4th, and I do nothing but watch Star Wars.
Yeah, no.
Oh my gosh, Sonia, can we do that?
Like a watch party.
Yeah, we just
Yeah,
start
that-
at midnight and go till next midnight.
Can we-
Yeah.
We'll do it as a giant live stream.
I don't want to be divorced. I'm out.
Yeah.
What? You don't? Your wife? My husband will like bring me food during it.
I'm lucky.
Me too.
I'm lucky if I can get 4 hours at night when everyone's in bed to come play video games. If I told her I was watching Star Wars for 20 hours straight, wouldn't happen.
You can pop in and out. You
Well,
know,
you
just
just
whenever
tell
you
her-
get an hour.
Just tell her you won't watch them the other 355 days.
I could just like glue this like in front of the screen and like duck out.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm watching.
There we go.
You
I,
can be here in
the
spirit.
resemblance is uncanny. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, I could record MP3s, and Drew, you could put them on your soundboard and just click one every now and then, like some dumb random quote that doesn't make sense. It'd be just like I'm there.
Oh,
Perfect.
okay, sure, if you say so. But off
We've
air,
done a 16-hour live stream before, so 20 hours, not so hard.
all right, off
Yeah.
air, we will discuss this idea because I like this. I'm serious. I'm being
I
dead
love
serious
it.
right now. I will do
Yeah.
this.
Jessica and I are already planning it. You can come. that you're invited.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely want in on this. I'm just gonna butt my head in here and say I want to. Yeah, I want to be a part of this. All right. Well,
Yeah.
moving on. Move along. Move along. There was your shot. You missed it. Too late.
I didn't miss it.
All right. So we'll move to you, Jess.
All right. I do want to say one quick Sonya story about Star Wars.
Ooh,
I hosted
please.
a Christmas dinner and I invited like family, friends, big potluck, what we do. This was like 3 or 4 years ago, pre-COVID, so 2019. And she came and sat on my couch with a full bottle of wine in her lap and put on The Mandalorian. And then the rest of us all sat in the living room and watched The Mandalorian for Christmas dinner.
It was
Thank you,
great.
Sonya.
That is awesome.
Yep. There was my
Oh.
family. I ignored them so I could watch the Mandalorian.
I get it. I
Yeah,
totally
my in-laws
understand
were
it.
there. They're like, "Oh, what's this? Who's that little green guy?" I was like, "We're watching The Mandalorian."
That's Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. Personally, for me, I watched like 4, 5, 6 as a kid with my dad. I watched the Christmas special. That we watch that every year because my dad's really into bad TV. And
It's amazing.
oh no, it's amazing. I love bad TV.
No,
Part of
it's great TV.
It's amazing in the same way watching a fast forward video of a banana rotting is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then of course 1, 2, 3 came out when I was like 11, 10. So the
baby.
nostalgia has a factor in that. But I personally never really a big Star Wars kid. So I didn't I've seen them, but my Star Wars lives vicariously through Sonya.
And here
So-
you
Putting a
are.
lot of pressure.
And here you
All
are
the
on.
pressure.
And here you are on a nerd podcast to talk Star Wars.
I'm a nerd. It's just not it wasn't really translated into Star Wars. You know what I mean? So I can pick stuff up pretty fast. Don't worry about it.
No,
Sorry.
no worries.
Study.
No worries. If you could handle hosting my other show for an episode, you can handle this.
Exactly.
We knew nothing about wrestling.
Yeah, nothing.
And held your own, I will say. But all right, so let's get down to the Blue Shadow virus. We're going to do this, folks, as one big episode like we do in the arcs. So this is going to be both 17 and 18 of season 1. And we will go ahead and move on to our one sentence recaps of these episodes. So I forgot to totally send our guests the flyer, so I'm going to give them a couple seconds to come up with something. And we'll start with Brandon.
Oh, hang on. Let me turn on Morgan Freeman for this. And
Do I sound like Morgan Freeman, though?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. It's mostly working, then. All right, here we go. I'm going to get my friend Andy to read it with me. A German mad scientist, alien, uses shaky science to scare tactics to shake the stability of the Naboo star system. I just wanted to put many S's in there.
Oh, all right. Yeah. All right.
I was bored and just wanted to go for alliteration.
Perfect.
That works. And you know what I keep forgetting to put in my notes and in the thing?
One sentence summary.
Well, not only that, but oh, never mind. I don't have clips tonight, so we'll forget that because oops. I forgot to convert them over. But anywho, whoopsie. So oh, did we lose Dawn?
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
no, she's there. Sorry. We're just
Sorry.
She's fine. She's fine. She
Oh.
has her line.
And she's back. All right. Do you want to go with
I don't, you can use that or I can use that, Don.
I was gonna use it.
Okay, go
where
for
I
it.
felt like I lived this episode for 3 years or something like that. Yeah.
I just texted you that line.
Let me fuck that up, but whatever.
she's like, I don't know what to say.
Okay, I don't normally talk during our podcast. Let me be very transparent about that. I'm the quiet one. Okay. So if you ask questions, I feel like I'm on the spot.
I know
Well-
my brain just goes lump.
I know, I'm brain dead right now.
no worries.
Yeah.
It's okay. All right, well, we'll go on to Sonya.
Okay, before you wrote that was mine.
Oh,
But
damn,
I can
sorry.
change it. I can change it. I
Go.
can change it. Sugars. It was okay. So,
This is what happens when we don't prepare.
I
No,
know.
no.
We don't-
This is what happens when I'm a bad host and didn't send it to you beforehand.
No, it's good. I just like I don't do good on the spot. Yeah.
Okay, here's my sentence. Was it a sentence recap with explanation?
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't want to
my-
like ruin the rest of like a lot of like I was trying to say like kind of like interlaps with like the other stuff on your list. So I was like, what's original?
I didn't like Jar Jar in this, even though I like him in movie 1.
No one
Jar
likes Jar
Jar's
Jar in the Clone
amazing.
Wars.
I love Jar Jar.
Okay, Jar
Jar
Jar's
Jar's the most-
first
Does
lines,
it-
his first 2 lines are yummy, yummy. Like
Does
twice,
it make me a
twice.
bad person that I was very sad that he didn't get infected with the virus?
Yes,
I
mean,
thought
no,
he was
no.
going to, because like it
He's
makes
the
sense
only
he
one that
would.
didn't.
I know.
I wanted him to die in this episode.
You want him to die
'cause
in
he's
every
the
episode.
Sith Lord. It doesn't happen without him.
I know. Whatever. All right. Well, mine is cartoon villain can't be taken seriously. Oh my God, the bad scientist in this one. He was taken right out of a 1930s B movie, and it's so bad. So bad.
I mean, they even like. Did you notice how they dim the colors anytime like he was in the focus of the camera to make it look almost black and white?
Mhm.
Yeah, more
then-
noir.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden at the end of the first episode, after Anakin kicks him out, the collar comes back. It's like, oh well, someone changed all the light bulbs while they were untying each other.
Yeah.
It's like the Wizard of Oz when she walks outside the door the first time.
Wait, can someone explain why he was doing this? I didn't know his motive. Like why
to
why was he just
Attack
like
Naboo.
but why?
He's crazy.
Just
Oh,
I mean,
okay. So
like,
that's
If you
Typical
want
Marvel.
the made up justification for it, it's because the separatists don't like Naboo because it's part of the Republic and it's where all this started. So any
okay,
way
I do
you
have
can
questions
attack,
about that later. I'll wait till we
Yeah.
get to a
You
question
have like
period.
political questions.
Well,
I'm
no,
trying to
it's just
think earlier.
definitions. I need some definitions on things. You know, this episode left me with so many questions and not very many answers. There's my
most of these
sentence.
episodes do.
Yeah, that's kind of their point, I think, a little bit. But we'll go ahead and move off. We'll move on to notes and discussion. So go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, what does separatist mean in this context?
It's the opposite army of the Republic. It's the people that want to separate from the Republic. So the battle droid army. So like
Okay.
it started with the Trade Federation in episode 1. The dudes with like the squiggles in their eyeballs.
Yeah,
That's the
but
Trade Federation.
why?
Because essentially Palpatine told them to.
Oh, so they're just doing as they're told? That's the whole premise
I mean,
for everything
that's the
happening?
push behind it, but
That's most
the line that
armies.
they're using to recruit people is to get away from the oppression of the Republic. Like they go to worlds that feel like
Are
they
they
get the
actually
short
being
end of
oppressed
the
by the
stick.
Republic?
most of them feel like they're getting the short
Okay,
end of
yeah,
the
but
stick.
there's the crutch. They
It's-
feel like
right,
it, but
It's the
okay.
typical idea of government, like the government's out to screw me kind of thing.
Well,
Oh,
that's what
freaking
I'm
army.
saying because I'm Canadian and half my family lives in Quebec, and I don't know if you know this, but Quebec separatists. Ooh. They try to bring a vote every few years. Yeah. They let you know they hate you because you're English. So I just wanted to clarify that they're the same. Okay,
They're
got
the
it.
same. Yeah.
They're the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
They're,
cool.
they're the Quebec of Star Wars. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, gross.
As my
Great
grandma,
to visit.
as my grandmother always told me, never trust anybody that speaks French.
Oh.
Chocolate, please.
My husband's first language is French, so I'm allowed to make fun of French people. I got the card. I don't know. He lets me.
I can speak French.
I'm French. I just can't.
Oh,
Speak
yeah, I'm French too, but I don't speak it.
I haven't had to take French since grade 9.
I can. I mean,
Canadian law.
I know some French. Like you're an asshole. Pardon my French.
Ha! You
Uh,
just
the
go
French-
tabernacle.
Yeah, like, you know the French swear word?
We teach that on all the podcasts we go on, and when French
what-
comes up as a topic.
what's the French swear word?
Tabernacle.
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 Yeah, like a tabernacle, like the
Oh, okay.
religious thing, but we just
Yeah.
use it as a swear in French.
You gotta like kind of like
Oh.
a phlegmy growl when
Yeah.
you say it, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tabernacle.
Tabernacle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the French
there
are
we
pretty
go.
phlegmy. Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
So what does it translate to? What is it?
It's just like cursing
Like,
the church.
F
which
you,
is-
yeah.
Oh,
Which is like the worst kind of swearing you can do in French culture is like curse the church. So
Yeah,
like,
because they're all like
crazy.
churchy.
Yeah. So
churchy, and you're going crazy.
Well,
I mean, they go hand in hand, but you know, like
yeah, well, like when your church stuff gets mixed in with your swear words, I think that's too close. You know.
Yeah. a little close.
okay.
That
So,
was
yeah.
my question.
All right. No worries. Yeah. So that's what the separatists are in this universe. They're the Quebecers. That's probably not the proper way to say that, but
No, Quebecois.
Quebecian.
Yeah.
Quebecians.
Quebecois.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
whatever.
all
Whatever.
right.
Quebecatorians.
Exactly. There you go. Perfect.
Well, now you just made it so none of the separatists will ever listen to your podcast.
Yeah, you
Um,
just ruined
Hey,
it.
counting you guys, this makes 4 people that have ever heard this podcast
wow,
From
new
Canada.
record.
From Canada.
from
yeah,
Canada.
we've had 4. Yeah, we have had 4 Canadian guests. That's weird.
Mhm.
And well, 3 of them tonight, but still multiples.
It's a party.
We're
That's a-
international. Woo. Brandon, this one I have a question.
Yes.
This one's for
Okay.
you. Did
All
Jar
right.
Jar's voice sound weird on this episode?
Yes, because it's a different voice actor again. Like there's like 2 or 3 different dudes that do Jar Jar's voice in Clone Wars.
Okay, this guy's terrible.
Hang on, I'll look up which one this is.
The bad one.
He came up as BJ something, but that's a pseudonym. He has another name that's on the Wikipedia confirmed. I didn't write that down. though. I forgot.
Whoa! Didn't we say PG-13?
What did I say? What
BJ, you're talking about BJ's over there.
His name.
Oh, okay.
BJ.
Sorry.
That's what it comes up on the IMDb, but then it's a different name. That BJ is like his like stage name. I don't know. I can't
That's
remember.
a terrible stage name. Unless like it's a
Well, it
different-
has like a last name. It's like B.J. I can't remember what the last name was.
It's French, so you mumble it.
Wow, there went our one French listener.
Yeah, so this is the same guy that did Jar Jar in the Gungan General when I made fun of how his voice sounded.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring, but I could really notice it in this one.
Yeah.
I didn't take a whole lot of notes on this one. One thing I did write is that ship that they go to the jungle or whatever swamp was. That is the dumbest designed ship I have ever seen in my entire existence.
I'm trying
What?
to remember the ship now.
It just like it was like a big cylinder on the front that you sit on the top of. That's like 20 feet up there. You have to climb a ladder to get up to the cockpit. Why?
That
Why?
sounds almost as bad as a ship that's shaped like a giant frisbee that has the cockpit off on the side and not even lined up with the middle of the ship.
That makes a little more sense than 20 feet in the air for no reason whatsoever.
Have
Just
you
a-
ever been in a semi truck or a school bus?
Just a can of Pringles on the front of this thing, and we climbed to the top of it.
I don't know. I'd have to see the studies when they were testing it for, safety.
There's space.
Having that high angle makes it easier to navigate.
Yeah, I don't know
you
how it works in space,
Well, like, what is it like less like surface when it's all like condensed? Like, so it's
I don't remember what the ship looks like. Like I'm pulling the
Fine,
episode up
explain
now.
aerodynamics to us, please.
All right. Well, I mean, that's just me being stupid. So we'll move on to the next topic. All right, Jess, you look like you have more questions.
I always have more questions.
Always.
No worries. What's-
Okay. This is more like I guess it's kind of for like the whole Star Wars existing, but the second episode that we are talking about really made me like question it. But the morality of just killing drones, right? So like they're all like these bad drones, blah blah blah. But then he goes to that planet and there's all these defenseless drones. Quote, they literally say defenseless drones because they're like, I don't know, reprogrammed or whatever. And he
Mhm.
just kills a bunch of them and slaughters them. And no one bats an eye. And they're like, oh, look, you just killed those defenseless drones. But then later on, they talk about Droll and the drones feel fear. They go, not droll, like all the drones. And I'm like, so these things are feeling fear and they're just slaughtering them?
Simulated
They're
fear.
programmed.
Yeah.
A programmed
Okay,
auto-
then
response.
we can bring it to the clones.
In Star Wars,
Then we can bring
in
it
Star
to the
Wars,
clones.
droids don't actually have AI.
Yeah, they're just
But-
what they're programmed to do.
So
They're
what would
programmed to
be
seem
what
intelligent.
would be the why would you want it to simulate fear?
Because
to
it's
make
funny.
it worth talking to for comedy.
You're just like hiding behind walls going, bah, to your drone every time.
It's like, have you ever had like a little lapdog before that when you jump out, like it scares it, it like falls over? It's the same thing with
I do that
droids.
to my cat.
Sounds like torture.
Like sociopath.
Because the drone would never get used to it. So you could just do it whenever you want. See, again, like, it's a little bit of an ethical dilemma for me.
Well, you won't be the one killing.
Okay, then we move on to clones. How do these clones, like, they're just dying and they're like, that's what they were made to do. And I'm like, they're not, are they simulating? They're not
No.
robots. So they're just
No.
like,
They're
yeah.
actual human beings.
and they're just like, yeah,
Warning.
they fair, like they die fair, like, and so
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Well, that's kind of a reoccurring theme that they do in the Clone Wars cartoon too. Is we had a few episodes that talked about it, like these are people too when they're talking about the clones
Yeah.
because apparently in Star Wars everyone keeps looking at the clones as expendable like the droids because they're created and bred for the sole purpose of being in this army. And then like Yoda in one episode, I think it was season one episode 1, right?
Yeah, ambush.
Yeah. And like he was like, you're all special and unique and I love you guys, let's go fight the
his
bad
little
guy.
speech.
Yeah.
that
He has
sounds like
he has a powwow around
propaganda
a fire.
brainwashing, to be fair. He's like, you're all unique, but now you're all gonna go to war. Congratulations. Like,
You're
we
all
we
special.
need
Now jump in
you.
front of this laser bolt.
Yeah.
That's
Totally
exact-
not an allegory for the U.S. Army. I'm just
But
saying.
that's it. Like, the one drone, like, or not drone, a clone. Weird that they sound the same. The one clone like dies from the blue virus when they're like locked up, and they show he dies because they cover him with a blanket, and then the other guy's like, that's what they were made to do. And it's
like every episode they say that.
I know, and I'm like, are you now they're like brainwashing us. It's like first the clones, and then now it's the audience to like not worry about it. We still got to root for the good guys. And I'm just like, they're literally just like breeding people to die. They don't sound very good guy to me.
Well, they're not breeding. It's clones. It's fine.
Well, okay. What's your definition of breeding? Like, I don't think you need, like, I feel like.
When a man and a woman love each other.
I feel like they would have to
He's
take
actually
some genetic
science expert on this
material.
one, so.
Yeah. I got
No.
a book when I was younger.
Okay.
I read it.
Okay, when they had some genetic material, they put it in a little tube and they grew clones. I don't know how cloning works in Star Wars, but
You
either way,
Basically, just when they hit the nail on the head.
yeah. So they were bred in a lab.
Yeah.
So they were bred,
They were
Breeding.
copied. Yeah.
copied. They were like
photocopy.
3D printed. Like what?
Well, I mean, they're all clones of the same person.
I mean, they're trying to 3D print meat, so maybe that's where we're headed.
Oh,
Actually,
that is no.
If I had to make an analogy, for cloning in Star Wars, it's like if you have a drawing and you put it underneath a piece of paper and then you trace it, and then you take that tracing and put it underneath another piece of paper and you trace it, and then you take that tracing and put it underneath another, because they even talk about in the Clone Wars how like the sample of DNA they have from Jango Fett is degrading as they use it more and more, and it's a shame that he's dead because they can't get a fresh sample. So the clones get less and less of a perfect copy each generation that they make.
what becomes less perfect about them?
I
I'm
don't know. I
curious.
pointed out that it didn't make sense.
Ooh, they're not
I was like,
showing it. That
if you
tells
have the
which-
DNA, why is it not like saved? Like, this is the DNA. We have it saved. Just control paste over. But that's what they say in the Clone Wars. It was an episode we've watched before where they make
Yeah.
that. I think it was the recruits, the training one. Was that?
Yeah, it was one of the
Or-
training ones
Yeah.
when we were on
Yeah.
Camino. And did nobody think to go get his head off of Geonosis to use it for DNA?
Mace Windu keeps it on his shelf.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a trophy.
He's like, see this? I made his kid watch it roll across the floor.
Sure, that wasn't scarring at all.
I mean, we've all seen how Boba Fett turns out. He's good.
Yeah,
He's a great guy.
he gets his own TV show where he's the hero. Sort
Okay.
of.
I have one more bit about this tangent and then someone else can take over. So we know what happens to Anakin, right? Like
Yeah.
after Clone Wars. We know how it goes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Maybe him slaughtering these drones that feel fear and like not caring about, having to deal with the trauma of losing all these clones all the time. Maybe that was like a red flag.
Well, like
Like
Well,
I
there's
have a
lots of-
note. I have a note that reoccurs over and over and over in these 2 episodes that say Anakin Sith is showing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's red flags all over this.
Okay.
Killing the droids. I brush that aside because droids are treated like property in this. Like it's.
And
They're-
so are kids.
Yeah.
So good comparison.
but
Good
he loves
comparison.
his droid, but not other people.
Well, there's also a fan theory about
same
why.
With kids. Same with kids, right? You
Right.
love your own.
Well, there's a fan theory about why Anakin is so attached to R2 too. And Padme has C-3PO, which is the droid that Anakin built, and Anakin has R2, which is Padme's astromech droid. So instead of trading rings when they got married, they traded droids, and that's why supposedly he's so attached to R2. 'Cause that's his
Nerdiest wedding
ring.
ever.
That's awesome.
It's romantic.
You want my mechanic? Yeah, baby.
Whoa. Okay. Yay. I don't know where to go
I feel
after
like
that.
Padme made out on that.
Sorry, that was my in-depth analysis. I don't know. I do this every time. I don't mean to. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Star Wars, so I just had questions.
No,
You guys
it's okay.
answered them
Every
very well.
time I overanalyze something and point out that doesn't make sense, I get treated like the village idiot. So don't feel bad.
Because you are the village idiot.
We just blame it on autism. We're like,
Yeah,
it's our
that's all I
autism.
say. It's the autism. I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
Okay, I do have a problem with the one big problem with the second episode. So the droids are
Just
trying.
one?
Yeah, so the virus
Okay.
is released underground. And the droids are
Mhm.
programmed to break out and release the virus. They come up on a group of them cutting a hole in a wall. Why? Because 2 seconds later, they go around the corner and can just escape through a hatch.
Yeah, I don't know. I was
Well,
like, what is
weren't they cutting
happening?
the hatch?
No, they were down cutting through a wall.
The first ones were, right.
Yeah, then they shoot them, and a couple of them make it around the corner and climb this ladder, and they're like, "Don't open that hatch, or I'll shoot you. I'm going to release the virus." Shoot. Then why are
But-
you cutting through the wall when you could have just already opened that hatch?
That was their plan B.
I'm pretty sure that that was a different group. Like there were 3 groups of droids that they showed, and each one was cutting their way out. One was cutting a wall, I guess like a tunnel or something. I don't know. And then those were around the corner cutting that hatch, and then there was another that was cutting another hatch that they showed later. Like the hatches were all sealed because the base was on lockdown from the virus getting out, so they had to cut their way out.
I'm pretty sure I can go back and watch it that first group went around the corner and then went up the hatch.
I know there was one group cutting a hatch, and I remember thinking, if they're cutting the hatch, that means air can get through. Like, wouldn't the virus just go through where they're cutting in the hatch? Like, why? Like, because they say something like they're almost done.
Like
Or
the
something
first
like-
cut. Like-
Yeah, they're like almost done, and I'm like, wouldn't that be enough to like cause like some sort of leak?
I guess like if they're just like cutting the hatch open, maybe, but I viewed it as they're cutting the locking mechanism so that they can
Oh
open
yeah,
it up.
maybe.
That
That'd
would
be
probably make a
smarter.
lot of sense. Yeah.
You got to remember, George
That's
Lucas
smart.
wrote all this down in his notebook when he was in college. It's all scripted decades in
Yep.
advance.
He's lying,
Master
by the
plan
way. No. He's totally lying. This is all made up.
No.
on the fly.
George Lucas knows what he's doing. Okay, he's a
Right.
genius.
It
So,
just got lost somewhere.
so
along the
Luke and
way.
Leia made out why?
Because he thought it was hot. Okay, like,
George,
don't
he
judge
has,
the
like,
guy.
He was
He
a
has
little
an
incest.
incest trope. Like if because like you find out like I forgot her name, but like Leia's son and then the girl are
Kylo
like
Ren?
are actually like related and they make out. Like it's really weird.
No, they're
like-
not related.
They're not related.
Well,
no.
she's a like she's one of his like clones, the bad guy. I can't remember.
Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Yeah.
Palpatine.
But
She's
so
his
is,
granddaughter.
but so is Anakin. So wouldn't they be related?
Not canon anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, they just see, he planned it out so well. He changed
And
canon
the
years in
old-
advance.
The
of
old
making
canon was
stuff
that
canon.
Plagueis, right?
Yeah.
Plagueis
Yeah.
like used the Force to influence
like Jesus.
Shmi to be pregnant,
Yeah.
but it's not actually biologically his. But even so, Sidious and Plagueis are two different people. So you could kind of see it as he fathered it in, but not really. He was more like said, "Force, go make a baby," and then they uncanon that.
So it's like the space
He used the
Virgin Mary. Like,
Force.
okay.
Yeah,
I've been told when doing that, using the Force is bad.
it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're correct.
You
You're
have
correct.
to reach out with your feelings first. That's the trick.
Is that what you named it? My
Yes.
feelings.
Now I'm stuck on that because if you used the Force, wink,
Mhm.
but it wasn't your genetic material, would
Mhm.
like that's where
So
at what
like
point is it?
okay, Drew's the better expert on Plagueis, but like the idea is he could use the Force to create and extend and prolong life itself, like the midi-chlorians, like because they are a living creature
Yeah, the
that
Force
allows
can do
you
anything.
access to the Force. Pretty much,
Everything,
yeah.
Just
It
whenever
just
it wants
everything.
to. It's
Whenever
very
they need it to, they
stubborn.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they really don't need it to, and then you'll have Harrison Ford yelling,
It's like
"That's not how the Force works."
if you have a BFF in the Force, and you have a back scratcher and their back itches, you just hold it behind you and drop it, and they grab it because that's how the Force works in the sequels.
Wait, what?
Wow.
The lightsaber thing,
Was that in Rise?
Kylo.
Was that in
Kylo
Rise?
Ren's one.
That was Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've only seen that once and refused to watch it again. I tried it. I tried it for a
you
second.
got to watch it again before we get to it. I hate
That'll
to
be
break it.
years from now, and there's a reason.
Still happens.
I know. I've tried it a week ago and made it 20 minutes and shut that damn thing off.
I've got money that says we don't make it through the Clone Wars and we're gonna go back to movies. I've got that secret bet somewhere.
No, you don't.
There's a
Or-
lot of Clone Wars.
I know. I like
It's
Clone
like
Wars.
10 years. It's crazy.
You may lose that bet, but you may win that bet, but it'll be because you don't make it and I find a new co-host.
Ooh.
You can't replace magic like
Magic.
That damn soundboard. All right. Well, okay. Does anybody have any other any questions, anything they want to talk about on either episode?
I've went on
No.
all my rants.
No problem.
Okay.
No worries.
Let's see,
Oop,
what do I have in my
Somebody
notes?
said yes. Who had
No,
a
I
question?
said I don't have questions.
Yeah, I
It's
shook
just
my head no.
it was just like a cartoon for me. Like I don't actually count the cartoons as part of like the series. Like it's there for fun. And I like it, but like it's not the story for me.
It's additional added, like the Rogue.
Like
or whatever.
it's
I
fan
can't-
fiction. That's what it is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, I love Rogue One. I can't wait to get to there. Spoiler alert.
That's a good one.
That's
I
my
love
favorite
Rogue One.
movie.
Yeah.
It's my favorite
I
Star
liked
Wars
it,
movie.
But then I didn't. I didn't like the ending. I hate how how it ends. I'm not going to spoil it for people, but
Oh, we
Didn't
can
like it.
spoil a 7-year-old movie at this point.
Yeah.
I think we're all good.
There's
I
been people who
mean,
still haven't seen it.
we knew how it was gonna end before they got there. It's like the Halo reach
know.
of Star Wars.
But like, I don't know. I just didn't like it. Okay, I don't like sad endings.
It wasn't sad. They did their job.
It's like you get to the end of episode 3, you're
After
what
they
the
die.
hell, Anakin?
They're like, woo!
What'd you kill them for? What's this suit you're wearing? That's not good.
Wait,
What happened to the babies?
Anakin's Darth Vader?
I didn't say that.
What?
You
Oh.
did.
What happened?
He
Spoilers.
was such a good kid.
You're gonna tell me Bruce Wayne's Batman next.
Don't ruin it.
Clark Kent is Superman. What?
Hey, Brandon.
Hmm.
Dick Grayson dies.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
He gets
Several
better.
times.
All right. So, favorite scene out of these two movies. is up next.
Hey, I got a beef I want to point out before we move on.
Oh, you haven't done trivia yet either.
I haven't, but I'm going to do my beef first because it's in front of me. There is a very strong opinion in Star Wars that robots do not exist in Star Wars, and they're always called droids. Would you agree with this?
Yes.
Okay, like saying something is a robot in Star Wars, like it is like a faux pas. And if your beard neck is strong enough, you go off on people when they say that.
Yeah, I
Well,
got
I said
chastised
that
the
a
other day.
lot.
The robot.
I mean, that's like the common vernacular, but in Star Wars, you call them all droids. But yet, I think it's the first episode when the droids that they got, they call it a robo-lobotomy. Why would you call it a robo-lobotomy if it's not a robot?
That's true.
That is very true, and that is level 99 power
We
nerd beat right there.
write them letters and
Yeah.
ask.
I'm going to write a very strongly worded letter about this cartoon that came out in 2008.
We'll start a campaign.
Oh my gosh. Hashtag droids are not robots.
Hashtag robo-lobotomies are fake.
Fake news. Fake news.
All right, do you have any trivia?
I
It's
do.
interesting at all?
I thought this was interesting, and like it bugged me the whole episode once like the glass shattered and I knew what it was. So in the first episode that we watched, you know how they're in the hangar, like the Naboo hangar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the trivia reads, in recreating the Theed hangar, the crew discovered that the Naboo starfighters' tails go through the hangar walls in order to fit in their stalls. Dave Filoni consulted with episode 1 visual effects supervisor John Knoll about this, and Knoll confirmed that they had the same problem in Star Wars episode 1, the movie. So if you look in the hangar, the tails just disappear in the wall on the Naboo starfighters. And I went back and watched episode 1 and they do the same thing. It's just like, here's the ship and tail's gone.
Like,
It
I'm
just
gonna
hits
have
the
to
wall.
rewatch it now.
I guess
Oh my
Oh,
God, you
that's-
ruined it for me.
Got to pay attention.
That
They made
kind
the ship too
Ah.
long for the hangar.
of reminds me. If anybody ever played Half-Life,
No,
Yeah.
probably
But
Jessica.
somebody
Yeah.
said yes. Somebody,
Yeah.
Jessica.
you know the part? Have you ever seen what happens when the part in the beginning when you take like the train around the facility?
Oh, that was my favorite part. Yeah.
Do you know how they got that to work?
No.
They didn't actually take the time to design like a functioning train system. That train just literally turns into a helmet you wear, and you walk around with the helmet, and it looks so your first person visual is you're on a train, and they
That's
just put you on a
smart.
rail.
That's smart. Because I used to replay that beginning because I now I like horror games. Who knew? But I used to replay that beginning because you're not doing anything but like watching all the creepy stuff. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, just Google Half-Life train, and you'll see the picture. They pull back and show the camera. It's literally just what's the guy's name? Morgan? No. Anyway.
Morgan Freeman.
No, not Morgan Freeman. It's something Freeman. But anyway, yeah, it just shows him with the full train like 10 feet out from his shoulders, wearing it as a
Programmers got a program.
Oh, it was-
you know,
it
you
was
do
genius.
what works. Like that's amazing though.
It
Yeah.
was kind of reminds me of that. Any other fun facts there?
Yeah, for the second episode, we've got this is the series debuts some fully realized Ithorian and Quarian models in this episode. Previously, the Clone Wars movie used cobbled together figures to represent these background aliens. In Jabba's palace, the Ithorians were made of a crudely modeled head stuck on Palpatine's body, and the Quarian was a simple head stuck on Obi-Wan's body. So this is the first time they took the time to actually make an Ithorian and a Quarian.
Oh, kind of cool.
There you go. And the previous Ithorians were Palpatine with a mask on. No, the Ithorians are the ones where like their head is like a big scoop, and the Quarians are the
Yeah,
dangle
Quarians are
beards.
these. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Little
okay.
tentacle faces.
I see
Yeah.
what you're putting down. I
Yeah.
liked how, like, they're like the old man guy that had the tentacle things. And I was like, if you're born with those tentacle things on your face, do you just automatically become that old man that, like, has, like, the long beard, quotation, you know?
Yeah,
You
you're
like-
the leader.
You just become that. 'cause
You are the
that's just how you
chosen
were.
one.
You're just,
Yeah.
oh, such nice tentacle face.
I liked that he was like creeping on them and like popped out of the bushes, sounded like or boxes, and he sounded like a crazy old man.
Yeah.
But then like he ended up being one of the elders on their like council. Like you're like, okay, buddy, whatever you say about your ghost. And then he's one of the leaders.
And then he was in a position of power. Who
That
knew?
that entire idea did not make sense in the episode to me, because like when they have their like meeting of the elders or whatever that was, when he's like, listen guys, it's not a ghost, it's a damn laser, like we were just there. Like no, it's a ghost.
Pretty sure
And
it's
he's
a
like,
ghost. Pretty
Yeah,
sure.
and then he's like, okay, so who was here before the separatist army was? And like, these people. And like the chick walks in with the glowing face and she's like providing no answer. She can be like, yeah, there was no ghost. The laser thing makes sense. She's like, why was her presence needed? She didn't do anything to the episode. She added nothing.
She was mystery.
I don't even remember what she said because it was so unimportant.
She was
And then-
called an angel. That was
Yeah,
all I remember.
they called them the angels, and she said something, but it wasn't important because 3 seconds after she walked in the room, Obi-Wan was like, oh, hey, the vulture droids, let's blow them up. So it didn't even matter. Why waste my time with that?
And
They had
that
to tell
super
him where to
genius
go.
kid, that super genius kid was like, oh yeah, I can just like program those for you and make them remote control. Never thought of this
Right.
before, you know, but I can do this right now.
I have the skill set.
Yep.
And I don't understand why they needed the vulture droids to block the lasers to shoot at the dish. Like, why didn't they just shoot from further away?
For like murdering the droids to make Jessica cry. That was the
Just
whole
to
point.
kill more of them.
Stop, okay? Droids
I'll be
and
right back.
robots
I've got a
too.
dog at the door. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Is that a euphemism?
No, it means there's a 4-legged furry canine creature scratching at my garage door right now.
Is that a euphemism?
Maybe.
That did not rectify the situation.
Uh,
All right. Well, while we wait for him, let's just go ahead and move on to favorite scenes. Who wants to go first? Not me.
Not-
do you have one, Sonia? You
I
go
said I
first.
just said one of my favorites was that
Oh,
crazy old dude.
The
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And then my first one was like Jar Jar at the beginning, fucking oh no, I'm sorry.
No worries. Everybody gets one.
No more for
I'm pretty
me.
sure
I'm back.
I said it twice. My bad.
Oh, I'm not worried about it.
And he's like, like a bug or whatever, and he goes and like he just destroys everything. Like that was, but then he saved the day because he knew exactly where the bug came from, so he didn't mess it up.
That's
He
how
saved
Jar
the
Jar
day.
always works.
I know,
Yeah.
I love him. He's like
He always accidentally becomes useful.
he ruins everything, but then like he has some information that helps somebody along the way.
Good for him.
Yeah, I relate.
Yeah, that's why I like Jar Jar too.
Yeah.
That's why you don't like enough, Mr. Dink.
Oh, I love yours.
I don't like his voice.
Ah, word.
I just like him.
I love how we're having a spontaneous conversation with your soundboard.
What the Misa saying?
He's just letting us know he's back. And the dog in the garage door was rectified.
Was taken
I
care
mean,
of.
Taken care of.
He's sitting here, so yeah,
Is it Charlie?
it is Charlie.
Oh, I love Charlie. Charlie's
What kind of
awesome.
dog?
Roxy's asleep on the couch, and apparently Charlie came out because he wanted to join.
Oh, Charlie's awesome. Charlie's
He
getting.
is.
How old is Charlie now?
He's 12 tomorrow, or today. Is today the 2nd?
Oh,
Yep.
happy
Today.
birthday.
Today's his
Yep.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Aw.
Aw. No, he's about the
Is
same
your
age as my
birthday?
dog.
Yeah, mine's about 11.
Mine's 12, 13, 13.
Wow. Do
13.
we all have old dogs?
We have a geriatric
Not
dog
Jessica.
club.
I
Jessica's a
like
little
cats.
puppy.
I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Oh
well, how
my
old's your
God.
cat?
My oldest is
80.
13.
Okay,
And
so,
my
Oh,
youngest is
Senior
4.
citizen.
so we all have old animals.
Execute order.
Jesus, this got dark.
That's fine. They were
Sorry,
bred
real
to
fast.
die.
Wow. And the episode takes a turn.
What
Uh,
have I done?
All right. Jess, what was your favorite scene?
Okay, so in the first one, okay, this is where my brain takes over. Okay, so in the first one, those like weird animals that they were like riding, like the
Mhm.
big round little head.
The
The
shack.
ticks.
Any scene that was in, I loved, because then I kept thinking about what evolutionary traits evolved it into that way based on being on that planet, because I didn't understand. I was like, why is it so fast? Does it like not get see food often, and so it like stores it, or like what is why is the small head like so I had lots of questions, and whenever that triggers, I'm like, cool, that was a fun scene for me.
Well, those actually
Just to
have
make
a
sure
very
I'm clear. We are talking about the ones that are in episode 2, like
Yeah.
in the field with Padme.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're in
Shocks.
both episodes, yeah.
Aren't they like air filled? Like aren't they like super light or something?
I don't know.
Okay, so
Or am I thinking
so
about
if it's
something
air,
else?
so then is it like because they require more oxygen than other species, and so they have to hoard it, kind
Or
of, and like slowly,
or they're just full of shit. That could be why they're so like bulbous like that.
Well,
but maybe that's because they can't run, so they can only like relieve themselves like once a month or something. Maybe every like for like a week they're like little tiny shriveled things, and then they eat and then they fill up.
They got IBS.
Wow,
Yeah.
Whoa.
See, that's why it was my favorite, because it led to questions.
Brandon, they're called shocks. SHAAK.
Hey, SHA what?
Now they're looking up the history. And everything for
SHAAK.
Okay.
We need to
Has
know.
no one ever asked you
Got
these questions before?
I mean, I'm usually the one who asks these
Yeah,
questions.
you're taking over his
Like-
job.
Like I said, like when I point out things that don't make sense, I get stared at like an idiot. Like there was
Oh, perfect.
there was an episode where they were in space, like just free floating in space in escape pods, and they've
Yeah.
established when they shoot their guns that there's recoil because they go pew pew when they shoot them, right? But they're not moving in space when they shoot their gun. I was like, no, for every action there's an equal but opposite reaction. They should be like
That's
flying
right.
through space when they shoot their gun.
They, like,
Magnetic
held
boots,
on.
Brandon. Magnetic
Like-
boots.
They weren't touching anything.
They're holding on to space. They were using
They're
the
a mammal,
force.
apparently.
Oh,
I also,
and oh, sorry, go.
no. I was just saying I like to poke the bear. That's why I just mock him a lot.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. We can all mock him. That's fine. My other favorite scene, which is in the end of the second one, was when they're like, "Hey, Jar Jar, we might train you now," because he like used like a blaster thing. And I was like, "You mean Jar Jar's been out this whole time? Like this is like
That was-
episode 18, and he's never been trained?"
He's out there with no training. Just
So,
living
yeah,
his
so-
life.
Yeah, episode 18 is where they offer him training.
Okay,
So-
I'm glad you brought that up because this is my very first note, and I completely skipped over it. So, the beginning of the first episode, we're told that they find a couple of droids wandering around Naboo. So, droids aren't military, and they think, hey, there's these here, there's got to be more. So, what's their option? Do they send anybody like military? Nope. Let's send 2 senators. That ought to work. Why? Why would you do that?
Maybe we should try that in real life. Just send senators to like war
Why-
zones and see what happens.
Why would you send Jar Jar on a biohazard mission? Like they were aware that there was a virus and they put him in a hazmat suit and
They
sent him
just
with
wanted
Padme.
him to die, okay? Like,
They tried. They tried.
Yeah,
They're trying to kill him
trying.
at this point.
Why were they not successful? Why were they not successful?
Oh,
He's the only one who didn't get the virus.
That's
The
true.
only one.
Yeah.
maybe they secretly knew that he wasn't going to get it. They were just like, he's immune. We're going to send him.
He had a force bubble around him.
Well, no, he didn't pop his suit. Like he ripped
he-
the tube out of Padme's suit,
yeah,
but
yeah.
his was good.
Whoa. Family friendly show here.
I would love for you to explain that you finished. Like, go ahead, flush that one out for me. He
Really?
ripped the tube out of Padme's suit. Go for it.
It worked.
Exactly. That's exactly what he did.
Is that a body part? What are we talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh,
I
We-
can't.
we like talked about this on our podcast. We read a book, and there was tubes everywhere. So like, it's understandable.
Yeah, fair.
I read
Gotcha.
that book. What was it called?
Everyone poops.
I have that. No, actually, I gave that book to somebody in college and never got it back.
They stole your
Why
pooping
did
book.
they need your pooping book in college?
I know.
It was
Their
reading
first-
material for
no,
Music
I was gonna say
100.
it's their first time away from home. So they needed to know.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know.
My mom's not here.
Oh
Somebody wipe me. Sorry.
no.
Anywho.
Well, I got another beef. Do you want to hear the other beef?
No, but you're gonna tell me anyway.
I probably am. Okay, and it's back to my least favorite droid in the whole galaxy. The frickin' destroyer droids that we have established can be easily defeated by throwing shit at them. Yet every time they show up, it's a big deal. And oh, damn, there's destroyer droids, we better run. It's like there's droid body parts all over the place, and Ahsoka can use the Force where she just yeet and throw something at him. But no, not even that.
Well,
In this, we establish that a lightsaber can just zoink through the shield because she jumps on top and goes point and just. Why don't they just do that all the time?
the plot doesn't
forget.
call for it.
Yeah.
They're like,
It's like-
what did we do last time? I don't remember.
Who knew this laser sword could cut this?
Did
Come
anyone
on.
write it down?
I always
And
do
then-
it with like notes. It's not detailed enough, and it was like great. But
It's
I
because none
forget.
of them are receiving training. Like, there's no actual
Apparently.
training.
Like in Ambush, the first episode of season 1, Yoda just throws crap at him and it breaks him. It's like, well, why don't they do that more often? Like, why don't they just pick up a rock and chuck it at it? Like,
The
Yoda's
plot-
not
Christ.
sharing
The
with
plot
anybody.
didn't call for it. All right.
the
Well,
plot calls for idiots.
all right. Well, let's finish up favorite scenes. Don, let's figure out what you are. Figure out. Let's find out what you.
Like,
Let's find
I
out what
just,
yours is.
I don't have one. Anything. I guess I have a love-hate relationship with Jar Jar. So anything with him, I loved it and hated it. I loved it because he makes me laugh, but I hated it because
Sorry. You can
No,
stop.
no.
they're gonna cut us off. It's okay.
but so Jar Jar, like I love him because like he's funny. He gives that so stupid and he hurts my brain at the same time. And so like I love him, but I hate him. So every scene with him, it gets my blood pumping. But at the same time, I'm just like, I cringe. So, like,
Okay, I have a question for you, Don. I'm sorry, I'm
Okay.
taking over your podcast. I have a question for you, Don.
Shocking.
I think probably one of our number one in this podcast right now. How did you feel about his voice? Because we already talked about how the voice actor in these episodes wasn't like the greatest, and I actually did have that in my notes as well. So I'm curious to see how that affected your Jar Jar likingness.
I didn't actually hate this voice at all. I'm gonna be the odd one. Okay, it's no different really from the other ones. They're very high pitched and like
Whiny.
yeah.
Word.
It sounds like my freaking toddler. So not gonna make a difference to me.
That's why you don't like enough to Mr. Dinks.
Aw, poor Miss Banks.
No one likes him.
Nope.
Sith Lord.
No, he's just accident prone. It's not his
No,
fault.
he's the Sith Lord. He's the Sith Lord. It's not Palpatine. It's Jar Jar.
Really?
Darth
He's
Vader.
running everything? It's just a big
Think about-
mastermind?
Who gave Palpatine the power to become Emperor? It's Jar Jar.
Could you imagine like an episode of Star Wars where like Jar Jar like all of a sudden leaves and then he goes to like his own drone army and he starts talking and he's like, "Oh, Misa, Jar Jar, be right back." And then he goes and he opens the door and it's like, "Okay, my drones, it's time." Wouldn't that be great? Oh, that'd be so amazing. I should write Star Wars.
Sure.
Yep.
All right, Brandon, what was your favorite scene?
Do I have to have one?
Yes, that's kind of what we do every episode.
Hang on, let me get my notes back up. Favorite scene. I didn't list one for the second one, so I'll do a combined one of both.
I'm just on combined.
All right, so my favorite scene by far was the like the bombing part, like where Ahsoka and whatever the female Jar or Gungan's name was, Peppy Bo,
Pepe Le Pew.
right. Yeah, when they like bomb their way in and like the drop ships are dropping the bombs and the Jedi are just like free falling like in there and they drop and start slicing everything up. Yep, action. That's my favorite.
The action parts.
Yep. If it's got lightsabers and space wizardry, typically I like it.
All right. Well, my favorite scene does involve lightsabers. It is when Anakin goes into intense negotiations, just like we saw on the very last episode. That, well, no, not the last episode, before, when Ahsoka did the very same thing on Newt Gunray. So I thought that was pretty cool symmetry that her master does the exact same thing. Need information? Put a lightsaber at his throat. That'll work.
The difference being she was pretending and he was showing his Sith.
Oh yeah, totally.
Red
But
flags. Red
flag.
flags.
I think like if he just got more therapy, it'd be fine. Like if they were just more accepting of his like needs, then
I made a note about this. Hang on, I want to get my wording
about
right
going
here.
to therapy.
About he needed an intervention at some point, and
Yep,
I'm disappointed no one picked up on this.
no, Obi-Wan was right there with him the whole time.
Right, but what the hell did he do about it?
Nothing.
He's
He
like,
was right there with him.
Exactly.
he shames him every single time. Like that's not good support when you're
Yeah.
struggling. Like it's just
He
you're-
wasn't a safe person for Anakin to open up to about his
No,
feelings.
he wasn't.
They
Yeah.
just shamed him the whole time.
Oh,
He enabled him.
all
Yeah.
I wrote down, seeing Anakin get all ragey and continually slipping up about Padme. Why did Obi-Wan never have a sit down with his student / brother about this? Because he talks about how close he is. Like, you are like a brother, Anakin. And okay, so if I see my brother like doing meth and be like, hey, that's probably a bad idea. Like, like if he sees,
whoa, time out. In your analogy, falling in love with a woman is like doing meth.
no, but it like being a Sith, be like, I'm gonna kill you with this lightsaber if you don't tell me. Like that's bad if you're a Jedi.
Okay.
And
But
He
is it-
does call him out when he killed all those defenseless drones. It's actually Obi-Wan that's like, you just killed all these defenseless drones. But then he doesn't like do it as a maybe you need help. He
Yeah,
does
he
it
did
as
it
an
as a
I can't
mocking
believe you
joke.
did this again, Anakin.
yeah, he's
You
like,
know?
great job, Anakin.
Good
Big
job.
bad Jedi.
If this wasn't TV7, it'd be way to go, dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. So
Oh, you.
he noticed. He just like thought
he
shaming
has
was the way
to.
to go. I
He
guess.
has to realize that there is a relationship between Padme and Anakin, and he never does
No,
anything the whole time.
No,
And even in episode 3, he knows Padme's pregnant, and he never does anything.
no,
It'd
we
be like,
sorry.
why? I'm just saying, like, why didn't he be like, listen, you like Padme, that's great, but you can't be a Jedi and like Padme. Just turn in your lightsaber and go retire on Naboo with Padme, which is acceptable. Jedi are allowed to do that. You can quit. You can be like, I'm gonna step back and go have a baby with this chick,
But he's the
and
chosen
he's allowed
one.
to do that. So choose to go have a baby. Like Obi-Wan could have just stepped up and at any time and be like,
But maybe that's why
This
Obi-Wan
is
didn't
bad.
want to. Maybe that's why he didn't want to, because he's like, this is the chosen one. Maybe like,
I don't
he's-
remember the prophecy saying he had to be an active Jedi.
Well, we also find out later why Obi-Wan feels like this. We'll get there.
Okay, if you
We'll
say
get there.
so.
We do.
One
we'll,
day.
We'll
Just
get
like
there.
one day they'll introduce Asajj Ventress to us in the Clone Wars. Because they still haven't introduced anything about her to us other than her name and that she's a bad guy. Because the
What
2D
more-
Clone Wars isn't
what
canon.
We do.
Where
get-
did she come from? Like,
We-
what is this thing? Why is there a bald muskrat jumping around with lightsabers?
we will get there. We do.
I
get-
know, but we're not there yet.
I know. We'll get her backstory. Not everything has to be thrown right. Anyway, we're not going into this rabbit hole again that we get into.
Once upon a time,
Oh, all right. So I don't have clips for tonight. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the game for tonight.
woo!
And tonight, as soon as I find the right button, and can't find the button. This is so great. Where's it's supposed to be? Oh, come on, you're supposed to be right here. Dag nabbit.
What button are you looking for?
The sponsor of the game.
Oh, we have a sponsor?
Yeah. All right. Tonight the
Oh,
game.
shit.
Yeah. Well, it's not paying us anything. I'm doing it as a favor. Tonight the game
Screw
is,
that.
tonight the game is sponsored by Oh, come on. Why is the file not playing?
This is making
You know
up
what
for
pairs
me
great with
singing.
the podcast you're listening to right now? Another podcast. Hi, I'm Jesse from Open Pike Night, the Star Trek Strange New Worlds podcast where your personal logs are the prime directive.
Hey, Open Pike Night.
Hi, it's Peter again.
Hi, Open Pike Night. This is Mariah calling from Seattle.
You guide our discussion episode by episode during the season. And after that,
This is Melissa Navia.
This is Henry Alonzo Myers.
This is Akayla Cooper.
This is Bruce Horak.
ask your questions directly to the people who make the show.
Wow, great questions. It was Michelle and Mariah, is that right? Well, I'll tell you my experience is that...
Check us out at openpike.com or use the podcast app you're listening to right now to find that subscribe button
Hey guys, if we pull this off, it's officially the Open Pike Maneuver.
and hit it.
You are listening to Open Pike Night.
The official podcast of Sam Kirk's Mustache.
Which is why it feels like your brain is being squeezed through your nose.
All right. So that's who's sponsoring our game for tonight. As soon as I figure out how to close this window,
I want to see the check.
there's no check.
The royalties.
Yep, we'll get royalties. That's exactly it. Every listen they get, we get absolutely nothing. Anyway, this game is called, it's called Hey, Did You Notice? Because I find random crap through the episode and ask you questions. Did you notice anything about it? There's 5 questions. Best out of 5 wins. You guys know the rules, right?
Yeah, we said we were just on cheap seats last night and we'd play a similar game and we're very bad at it.
It's okay. So's Brandon.
You
Okay,
two
good.
played last night. I was dying, so
Well, good luck, Don. Maybe you'll redeem it for us.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
doubt it.
It's not kind of like their game. It's exactly the same. I straight up stole it with permission. But yeah, because we needed something fun to do. All right. So this covers both episodes, not just one or the other. Just
Okay.
go ahead and throw that out. And I'll put you 3 against Brandon. And
Perfect.
if
Fair.
you ladies first, and if you can't answer it, he has a chance to steal. All right. You ready? Everybody ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can
Question.
we use Google?
No.
Okay.
No Mind Palace. Got it.
I don't know.
Hands. Hands.
Hand check.
I got the questions. I really don't think Google would help you too much with these questions anyway, but
What color was the button at 4 minutes in?
that's been a question.
It has
Oh
been.
God.
Oh no.
No, the last episode we did, I put there were the 3 buttons on the control panel to open a door. What were they? Shapes and colors. No, I didn't go that hard this time, so I went nice. All right. How many shocks, which was the big tick cow thingies, died after drinking the poison water?
8.
I'm gonna go with your answer.
I'm going Sonia's.
I think it looked like 8.
Was it? Did it look like a big number? I don't know how many died.
Well, there was like 4 on one side, 4 on the other. Or was it 4 on one side, 3 on the other?
Oh, so 7
Oh,
or 8, 7 or
no.
8. Okay.
7.
Final answer?
7?
7, yeah.
Okay, 7, yeah.
7.
Okay. Brandon?
Oh no, we were wrong.
Or you may just want to hear
Okay,
both
do you
answers.
mean
don't know.
mean in the initial scene of them dying, or by the time Padme shows up, how many were dead? Because those are different answers, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they're the same.
Okay, then 12. I don't know.
No, the answer's 6. There was 3 on one side, 3 on the other.
Close.
Oh.
That was close. That was very close. All
I'm
right.
of
so
you.
sure.
Are
of
you
myself
sure
now.
more don't die by the time Padme shows up?
Yes, I'm sure there's
They were
6
dead
laying
in
there.
different places though, right? Like they moved, so maybe that's where like it looked like there was more.
There was 6 on the river, and when they started dying, she pushed the other ones away so they wouldn't drink, so they all didn't die. Okay, Brandon.
Okay.
Damn it, you're going to get this one.
Oh boy.
In the hangar bay, how many levels of starfighters were there?
Levels? Like
Levels.
like stat 2? 2, I think.
Ooh, ladies.
3.
3 is a
3.
correct answer.
We're doing so good, guys.
Well,
know
they already,
Star Wars.
they already talked about it earlier in this episode.
I figured since he went back and he said, I went back and looked at it. I'm like,
I was
I'm
looking at their tails. I wasn't looking at their stacks.
euphemism again?
No, literal.
Innuendo? Sorry,
literal.
innuendo. Oh, okay.
Literally looking at the tail of the ship.
All right, back to the ladies again. All right. Ahsoka and the clones were in the end of the hallway where, when they were running from the virus, they went to a certain room.
Cargo?
Wasn't it the lab?
They said they were in a specific room. They said, we're in the end of the hallway in blank.
There was like boxes and stuff. The storage closet?
Well, I remember that call. I don't know. But I remember one of them gets locked, like one of the groups gets like locked in the lab. I don't know where the other groups went. I don't remember that group specific. So
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. Brandon?
I remember the call too. And I remember that also Padme told Anakin she was in a room. And I know one of the groups said they were in a safe room. Like an actual safe room. And I'm thinking Padme said that and not Ahsoka. But I can't think of what Ahsoka says other than the end of the hall. So I'm just gonna say safe room.
No. She says we're in the room in the end of hallway of Complex B.
Oh.
No one was close
Yep,
at all.
No one
not
was
even
gonna
close.
get that one.
Not even close. All right, so we will go back to Brandon. When in the second episode, when they get down to the planet of 1,000 moons and they meet Javo, what is Javo's surname? They say it once. His full name.
I could just make one click and it'd be right there in front of
Yep.
me.
Now this you could Google, so no.
No, hand check.
Hand check.
Savo Voy.
Nope. Ladies, Javo, what?
No, I said Savo. That's not even the right person.
I was going to let it go.
Wait, Javo? Is that what it?
Yep.
What goes good with Javo, girls? Javo.
Am I allowed to
Johnson.
look now that I'm not
George.
answering?
As long as you don't-
Javo George. Javo George Johnson.
Oh,
Is that your final answer?
that is correct.
Yeah.
I'm lying. It is Javo Hood. He introduces himself as Javo.
Incorrect.
No, it's not.
It's J Bo. J Bo Hood.
Really? I kept hearing Javo.
Yep. J Bo. It's J Bo. Jaybo Hood.
Maybe it's one of those
You
weird
got the last
English
name right.
languages where like bees sound like bees.
Yeah.
We don't
that's-
know.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. All right. So nobody got that one. Last question goes to the ladies.
Was it one? It's 1-0 right now, right?
Yes. So they need to miss this and you have to get it right.
It was really important to me. I want to make sure I win.
And I know you're not going to get it. I know you're not going to get it right because you've already said you didn't have. Anyway,
you don't know me.
What was the name of the moon that the angel was from?
It like lit up red.
Mm-hmm.
The red moon.
Wait, no, we got it. Has to be clever. If we can't name it like Red Moon,
Oh.
like Rouge,
I was
Moulin
gonna say
Rouge.
Rouge Moon.
It's Moulin Rouge.
All right,
That's
Brandon.
where my angels are from.
Moulin Rouge.
All right,
If
Brandon.
I get half the name right, do I get half a point?
Yeah, sure, because you'll still lose.
It's something prime. I remember prime because they were talking about how it's the prime focusing laser.
Optimus.
So it's
Optimus Prime.
Tavon Prime.
Close. Milius Prime. Milius Prime.
I knew prime.
All right.
Not good
Moulin
enough
Rouge is
though.
better.
No, not good enough.
All right. The ladies
I
win.
could write Star Wars.
The ladies win by half a point, 1-1/2. But I want to go ahead. I have a tiebreaker question, and I want to see if you can answer this one. This can just be to anybody, whoever
I
first
mean,
one.
I can answer it. I don't know if it'll be right, but I can definitely answer.
Same.
All right.
Everybody just blurt out what they think it is.
Okay, let's go.
Because this one, I'm kind of proud if anybody gets this one. How many pilots tried to get off Iago or whatever it was called?
Brandon.
Okay, I didn't say that. I said anybody.
That's always been
Okay. It's not really the tiebreaker. You lost, so
whatever. Is it 20?
no.
Damn.
It was like a big number. More than
12.
20.
It was more than 20.
12.
It was more than
No,
20.
Never mind.
More than 20.
54.
Ooh, you were
Oh,
close.
just got to go 4 up on me. Okay.
Wait, hold on. What did you say?
I
He
said
said
50.
50. You're very, very close.
52.
48.
The
So
answer is
Sonny goes 2 below. Jessica goes 4 above. Just give it to me.
We've watched The Price is Right. We know how it is. One.
the answer is 51 because
Yeah, see, you were right. You were so close.
because Jabo says that 50 pilots have tried to get off this planet, but then Anakin tried to get off and couldn't do it. So that's 51.
Oh, that was a trick.
It was kind of a trick question.
It was
yes.
But he
What's the
does
trick?
get off.
But not the first time.
But you didn't say attempts. You just said got off. He got off.
No, I said how many. My question said how many pilots tried to get off the planet.
Pride. That's
Ah.
not succeeded, I guess.
Not succeeding.
Yeah.
So anyway, the ladies win. Brandon, you lost. Go ahead and write it down.
And the
I did.
crowd goes wild.
Woo, 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 woo.
We never win these games.
Well,
This is
hey,
a big moment.
There's not really a strategy.
You won tonight, and I will mail you guys stickers.
Yay!
I like
That is
stickers.
correct.
All right. Well, that's going to pretty much wrap up toward the end of our episode. So why don't you tell our
You're missing a big part of the episode. I'm going to stop you.
Oh, no, I am. Totally am. Out of 10. Totally
Yep.
forgot what we gave this episode out of 10. I've got to totally not reaching over and reopening my notebook.
Is this 2 separate ratings or like 1 rating for like the whole Blue Virus story?
If you did 2, we can average them together.
I didn't know I was supposed to do any. I'm doing it right now in my
You're
head. I
thinking.
need to know.
You're thinking.
Well,
You can just do one, and I can put it in the same blank.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Shit. Sorry.
All right. So, who wants to go first? Sonia, how about you?
I'm gonna give it an 8 because my man Jar Jar saved the day. He gets 8.
All right. Dawn?
I'll give it 6.
6.
All right. Jess?
I was also gonna give it an 8. I like source material that allows me to think, and this definitely opened up a lot of questions and avenues for me to branch out. So I appreciated that.
Some Star Wars.
Star Wars Clone Wars, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to average mine together real quick. So, Brandon, what are yours?
I did mine separate. So for the first one, I gave it a 5.51. And then for the second one, I gave it a 4.8 because I hated the second episode, honestly, deep down inside.
Yeah, those
It
guys.
was just, it's so damn cheesy and pointless. Like, he has a metal shovel digging a root out of rocks, and there's a lightsaber on his waist.
Yeah, that was like the best part. He's like, hurry up.
They can't damage the. With
They had
heat.
giant Bugs Bunny style Venus flytraps as a villain. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your point.
It's bad.
which I didn't really care for either of these either. This I gave one a 4.2, the other one a 4.5.
Hang on. 4.
I guess I just have really low standards. I
We're
don't know.
just, I think we're just like, we're cheerleaders. We're always like optimistic about things. We're like, yeah, hi.
Well, I wasn't. I was like 6. Like
That's
that's
still
max I'm
high.
giving. Like,
People put so much effort into this. Like, good for them.
I'll like the next one. Yeah, I didn't care for it. No, don't hate me, but too much of dumb Jar Jar just being dumb for no reason.
Because he's Jar Jar.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was like, that's the reason, obviously.
yeah.
The cartoon villain really just took me. I mean, I know it's a cartoon, but the
Nine
overly,
Fraulein. He's great villain.
the overly cartoonish villain, I should say, just took me out of it. Didn't care for it. We talked about earlier. His motivation was non-existent. He was just crazy to be crazy. Just didn't really care for it. So that's it. So what's our average, Brandon?
You're not going to get it from me because I got to change the whole formula thing from where we had 3 guests. I had it set up for 3 different numbers, not 5 numbers. So
we'll just take theirs.
Get back to me next week.
Just take theirs and average it into 1.
I think it's like 7.5 off the top of my head. I'm in the middle of equation writing here. Give me a break.
All right, we'll get back to you next episode, folks, because we
all
have
together and then divide by the number of people who made
8 plus 6 plus 8 divided by 3 would be the average.
Yeah.
It's 7 something.
Perfect.
Sure. Yep. We'll go with that. If you at home want to let us know what that is, you'll probably get it before Brandon. All right.
They have. Oh, come on. That's not fair.
Hey, my teacher told me I'd never have a calculator in my pocket at all times. Just saying. As I hold one.
My calculator's right here, so I don't have a calculator in my pocket.
That's true. That's very true. All right. Well, since I tried to skip over it earlier, we'll get back to it.
This is 7.3.
Oh,
I told you it's about 7.5, didn't I?
Dang, this is gonna be one of our highest rated episodes.
Well, that's not counting
We
our
skewed
scores.
the numbers.
Oh,
You got to remember, you gave it a 4 and I gave it a 5, so that's going to bring it down.
Oh, that's true.
Hang on, I can give you the first one.
Oh, we're waiting. Oh, yeah.
Hang on.
It's a great radio. We're waiting to you.
Listen.
Do you need an abacus?
No.
Are you using a pen and paper?
It's fighting me. Yes.
This is my daughter's homework. She's doing division.
It'll probably bring it down to like a 5.5.
And the first one comes to a 6.342.
Good.
Mm.
And the second one, highlight, delete, select, control select, control select, control select, control select, 6.26.
Ooh, still above 6. We got it. Yeah.
Yep. Which that puts it in like the top 1, 2, 3,
4?
5, top 5 episodes.
Can I change mine to like a 2 so we can get it out of there?
No.
Can I cheat? No, I won't do
You
that.
guys rated it an 8. You ruined everything.
I know we're too optimistic. We're like, yeah, it's amazing.
Blew the curve.
This is the best shit I've ever seen. I want more.
We're normally like having a drink too while we watch
This Jar Jar guy. I want a show about
He's
this.
on to something.
Yes.
Yeah, where's his Disney Plus series?
Someone call Netflix now.
Screw Netflix. Then
Netflix is about to bomb.
Oh yeah. The minute they lock me out of my account, I'm done.
Yep.
So,
I'm already done and they haven't locked me out yet.
Yeah. The
I
second
canceled mine yesterday.
Yeah, I'm about ready to tomorrow. As soon as the wife gets done with all that show. She's been watching Heartland. That's it. So as soon as she's done with that, she's watching Canadian TV.
That's a
good for
show.
her.
It's a good show.
It's beautiful. I love it.
I watch other Canadian TV.
Yeah. All right. So at this point of the show, let's let the ladies have the floor and tell our listeners where they can tune in and listen to their show.
Okay, well, we are the Opinionated Lushes. Our podcast is 18 plus, so please keep that in mind because we like to drink and talk about whatever is on our minds. There's new episodes released every Friday wherever you get your podcast, unedited episodes on Saturdays on our YouTube, as well as Patreon content available at the lowest tier. We just opened a merch store and we just started a new podcast series that we're releasing on Thursdays wherever you get your podcast under our Opinionated Lushes called Books and Booze, where we are interviewing indie authors and it's all smut and they get to read a chapter, so it's fun. And you can just find us, Google Opinionated Lushes. We're on all the social medias, Linktree/Opinionated Lushes, all one word, and we're there as well. So thank you.
All right, I do have one follow-up question that I know the answer to, but I just want our listeners to hear it because I find it absolutely one of the greatest things I've ever heard in my life. You said you have a merch store. What all's on that?
Oh, you can purchase our nipples. drawn in MS Paint on a T-shirt.
They're
Very
beautiful.
Yes, Sonia's our graphic designer.
They're Canadian nipples.
Yeah, Canadian nipples, and they're true to size. So good for Sonia's realistic art skills in MS Paint.
Yeah, I went to school.
Not for graphic design.
For nipple drawing.
Nipple art.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a passion project.
It's called nippleography.
Yeah.
So respect the art.
Use the proper terminology.
Yeah, so you can get nipples for like all seasons, you know. So yeah.
Winter nipples, they're a little bit pointier.
They are. They
They're
are.
Canadians. They only have one season.
They're adapted.
All right, Brandon, are you drinking our G Fuel sponsor?
I'm not drinking G Fuel sponsor right now. Today I'm drinking there we go. Yeah, Dr. Pepper Cream Zero Sugar. Yeah, all the artificial sweetening greatness.
So they took everything good about Dr. Pepper and took it out?
Yeah, but my wife doesn't get as mad at me for drinking this one as the regular Dr. Pepper cream. So
well,
I
all
can
right.
feel better about it.
All right. Well, why don't you, if anybody's listening from their show to hear them talk some Star Wars, why don't you tell them where they can listen to us?
Be?
I have no idea.
Anyways, yeah, you can find us over on Twitter at Across Stars Pod, and you can get on there and make some posts. Tell us any mistakes that we made, because I'm sure half of what we say is wrong at any given time. Give us your views on our opinions on it. Bait Drew into an argument, whatever boats you float. Also, you can get clips over on YouTube. And in the very near future, hopefully, we will have our first ever Let's Play of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I'm in the editing process now. So, yeah, hopefully that'll be done. If you'd like to listen to our podcast on the regular, you can find us on just about any podcasting platform that you can think of. Spotify, Apple Music, what have you. And, yeah.
That'll be the end of that.
It is
All
the
right.
end of that.
That is, yeah. All right.
One of these days, I'll script something out so I say the exact same thing every time.
Don't do
You
that.
say
That's
that
no fun.
Every time.
No, that's no fun. Scripts are boring. I like
Agreed.
spontaneous. All right. I barely like having a format. But anywho, at least that's why I probably don't send it to people. But anywho,
You forget.
I do. Hey, at least I had you watch the right episode.
Thank you.
We could have just made it up. It would have been
I
fun.
would have though. Like that's the thing. Is like because I wouldn't be able to admit that it was. You know, I wouldn't. I'd just make it up.
Yeah, Jar Jar's totally got a lightsaber in this one. Yeah.
He does like a
I
little
remember
dance with it. Like he has like a nice little outfit. It's great.
Padme turns into a stripper halfway through. Crazy episode.
Don't make me destroy you.
All right. Well, it's getting very late. We better wrap this puppy up. So, on behalf of the wonderful ladies from the Opinionated Lushes podcast,
Who are you?
Yeah,
Say your
my-
name.
Oh, you want to know who
no,
we are?
Wait.
No, I was going to say it. I just blanked on names.
I'm Jessica.
Jessica, Sonia, and Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, my Padawan, Brandon. I am your Jedi Knight Guru. And as always, may the Force be with you.
And the Force will be with you.